The 4,000-year-old conspiracy. 300 prophecies that predicted one night. The hook. The impossible odds. What are the odds of you being born? 1 in 400 trillion. Pretty slim, right? But what if I told you there's a plan that makes those odds look like a sure bet? Imagine a series of secret codes written by 40 different authors over 1,500 years in 3 different languages across 3 different continents. Now imagine all 300 of those specific codes, details about birth, lineage, betrayal, and even the exact price of a person's life, all coming true in a single 24-hour window. Statisticians have calculated the odds of just 8 of these prophecies coming true in one man. The number is 1 in $10.17. That's like covering the entire state of Texas in silver dollars, 2 feet deep, marking one coin, and asking a blindfolded man to pick it up on his first try. But we aren't talking about 8. We are talking about 300. Today, we are uncovering the 4,000-year-old conspiracy. This isn't just history. It's a mathematical impossibility that happened anyway. The ancient blueprint, the paper trail. This conspiracy started 4,000 years ago with a man named Abraham. It continued through King David and the prophets like Isaiah and Micah. These men weren't together. They didn't have a group chat. They were separated by centuries. Yet, they were building a biometric profile of a future person. The location, Micah 5 verse 2 predicted the exact tiny village of Bethlehem 700 years before the event. The lineage, 1,000 years prior, it was narrowed down to one specific family tree, the House of David. The arrival. The prophet Daniel actually calculated the exact year the Anointed One would appear, counting down from the decree to rebuild Jerusalem. Think about that. If you try to predict who the President of the United States would be in the year 2724, and you got their birthplace, their mother's name, and their bank balance correct, people would call you a wizard. This book did it 300 times. 3. The mathematical impossibility. Let's talk about Peter Stoner. He was a chairman of mathematics and astronomy who decided to run the numbers on this conspiracy. He looked at just 48 prophecies. He found that the chance of one person fulfilling all 48 is 1 in $10.157. That number is so large there aren't enough atoms in the entire known universe to represent it. This is where the conspiracy becomes undeniable. If this were a court case, the evidence would be overwhelming. If this were a lottery, it would be rigged. So, how did one night in Bethlehem, a night we call the Nativity, hit the cosmic jackpot 300 times in a row? The details, the small prophecies. It wasn't just the big stuff. The conspiracy got into the terrifyingly specific details. Prophecy. Zechariah predicted the king would arrive on a donkey. Fulfilled. Prophecy. He would be betrayed for exactly 30 pieces of silver. Fulfilled. Prophecy. That silver would be thrown into the house of the Lord and used to buy a potter's field. Fulfilled down to the last cent. Even the method of death was predicted in Psalm 22, describing pierced hands and feet, 800 years before the Romans even invented crucifixion. How do 40 different authors, who never met, coordinate a story so perfectly? Critics say the followers made it fit. But how do you make it fit where you are born? How do you make it fit what soldiers do with your clothes while you're dying? You can't. The purpose. Why the code? Why go through all this trouble? Why a 4,000-year-old paper trail? Because the architect of this conspiracy wanted to make sure that when the event happened, there would be no doubt. In a world of fake news and false prophets, these 300 prophecies act like a digital signature, a cosmic mark of authenticity that can't be forged by human hands. It's a message sent through time across thousands of years to tell us one thing. This was not an accident. The conclusion, your move. We like to think we are in control of history. We think we're just drifting in a chaotic universe. But the 300 prophecies suggest something else. They suggest a master script. If the first 300 prophecies came true with 100% accuracy, what does that say about the prophecies that are still left to be fulfilled? I want to hear your thoughts in the comments. 1. Is this the greatest mathematical coincidence in history, or is it proof of a higher design? Which specific prophecy blows your mind the most? I'll be in the comments responding to the best theories. Smash that like button if you love deep dive mysteries.